8th of February, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Okay.
Hello again, Rabbi.
Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Yeshiva Tabernacle here in Shlem Kiruv Zoom. Our second year this morning with Mr. Berura Hilchos Purim. Siman Taf Reish Pei Chet. Sif Beis. Okay.
Take Purim.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we are. Okay. Let's see. Sif Beis. Taf Reish Pei Chet. Sif Beis. V'chein Akvari. Yes. Who would like to read?
I'll read. I missed the first class.
Okay, go ahead.
V'chein hakfarim hanir'im imahem afilu einam simuchim kigon shehem bahar. And so, what is hakfarim?
Kfar is like a village.
And so a village or villages that are close to them, even if they're not.
Well, actually, Hanirim Imohim, that is seen along with them. Hanirim, that are seen along with them.
They're seen, seen with them, even if they're not close. For example, they're in the mountains.
Right. For example, let's say the village is on a mountain top.
She smuchim lahem, or they're close to them. Afilu einam nir'im imahem, even if they're not seen with them. Kagon shehem be'emek, that they're in the valley.
Right.
So they're not seen. They're close, but they're not seen because they're in the valley. I don't get the valley and the mountain, what that has to do with it.
Because if you would look at the you have the krach, right? The town. You have the town, and that's going to keep tes vav, right? If it was walled at the time of Yeshua ben Nun. So
right.
Those, you don't have to be part of the actual krach. You don't have to live in the actual town to read and observe Purim on the 15th. It's enough if you were in a village, an outlying village, that can either be seen, meaning it's on a mountaintop, but it's not so close, right? But you can look at it and you see it all there. It looks like the same geographical area, or even if it's close, but it can't be seen. If it's in the valley, meaning you don't see it from your vantage point. But since it's close, that also gives it the association with the town, and it's read with those are Tezvav as well.
I get it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Ubilvad shelo yu rechokim yoter mi mil. And only if it's not, what is rechokim?
Distant.
If it's not distant, it's not very far from a mil, from a mile.
Right, more than a mil, right?
More than a mil.
Which is like a mile. It's like a mile, more or less.
Uvashushan, af al pi she'ena mu kefes choma mimos Yehoshua Korim B'Tetvov. And in Shushan, even though it was not walled in the times of Yoshua, we read on the 15th.
Right. And Shushan's different, right? That even though this wasn't walled at the time of Yeshua, right? Shushan apparently came into settlement long after Yeshua came into Eretz Israel. Nevertheless, Shushan itself keeps Tezvav.
Ho'il v'na'aseh bo hanes. Since the miracle happened in it.
Right, that's where the miracle took place. So out of that gives it significance in and of itself. I think there are. I'm not sure. I don't know if they have a meaning there in Shushan Bisman Hazeh. I don't know.
Reviter or Mishnah Berura?
Mishna Berura.
Mishnah Berura on Bet Hakifarim. Vehu Hadin Ayaros.
I mean, like cities.
This is the law for cities. Nechiv Chayiv V'chein Kasav B'me'iri. They're obligated, as is written in the Me'iri.
Yeah, that's Nasiv Chaim. We can't cause memory. That's he's just bringing the source. That's the source of it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what it's saying is what that this is the law for cities.
Yep, towns, the villages and towns and cities. Yeah.
Okay, uvilvad shalo yu v'chule, and only if it is not, etc.
I mean, it means it has to be within a 1 mil's distance.
Right. Ze koye ad samich le de hainu shehaya samuch aval nir afilu rechok yoter mi mil have kichrach. So this is like ad samich. I don't know.
This is going on the samich, what's considered to be in the same area, samach. Hainu shaya samach, that it should be associated. It should be in a close proximity to the krach. Near if you rachok yos mimel havi krach. But if it's nearer, it's going to be, there are two things. It has to be one of two criteria. It has to be either one, visible, or it has to be samuk. It has to be in close proximity. Either one could be enough that it will be obligated like the primary krach.
So if it's seen, even if it's far, it's very far, more than a mil, it's kichrach. What's kichrach?
Krach is the town where the Megillah is read in Tezvav. As it did like a krach, Tezvav.
V'yesh omrim div near gam kain eno nechshav lich likrach. And there are those who say that if it's visible, it's not what's nechshav.
Considered, it's not considered like a crop.
It's not considered like a town. So if there are those who say that
There are those that say it's not considered like a crop if it's going to be more than a mill.
even though it's seen, even though it's visible.
Right. Right. It has to be within a mill.
Ella im kain she'eno rachok yoter mimil. Rather, if so, it's not much farther than a mill. What does that mean?
Elohim Kane, unless it's not further than a mill. It has to mean it has to be within a distance of a mill.
Oh, so its visibility is irrelevant. It has to be within a mill. Period.
According to this opinion, right?
According to those opinions. Okay.
Right.
Ho'il v'na'aseh bo nes.
This
Since
is talking about Shushan. Shushan, right, even though it wasn't walled at the time Yeshua ben Nun, it still gets a halachic status of having Purim on Tezbah.
Shehem nachu v'tetvav. What's nachu?
They rested, meaning from the battle. The battles came to an end on Yud Daled, right? In all over the world, the battle took place on Yud Gimel. In Shushan, they battled on Yud Gimel, and also Esther asked for another day, Tes Vav, that they should, and Yud Daled, that they should battle one more day. So in Shushan, they battled on Yud Gimel and on Yud Daled, and therefore they came to rest, meaning the battle ceased, and they celebrated on Tes Vav.
Dichsiv bakra, as it is written in the Megillah.
Right.
Okay, so now back to Gimel.
Yep. Go back to Gimel.
Kifarim va'yaros gidolos uchirakim she'enam mukafim choma mimos Yeshua ben Nun korim biyud dalid. Okay, so in walled cities, what is this? Va'yaros gidolos.
That in the Kvarim, in the towns and the large cities, Kvarim are Yaras Gedolos, large cities.
Oh, I see. That's cities. Okay. So in the towns and the large cities, and the towns that are not walled, from the days of Yeshua ben Nun, we read on the 14th.
Right.
Mishna Berura?
Yes. Very good.
Okay. Let's see. So we're up to Gimel. Where's Gimel? Oh, here's Gimel. Korim b'Yudalad, we read on the 14th. Mi she dino likro b'tet vav. From those that their law is to read on the 16th.
One second, on those. Misha Dina Lekrol, but Tezvav is 15. Misha Dina, those who have a halacha reading on the 15th, meaning a person whose law is that he comes from a place, right, where he's supposed to read on the
Oh, I see.
15th.
Eino yachol likro v'liftor livnei yudalad b'yudalad. He's not able to read. What's liftor?
To exempt somebody else.
He's not able to read and exempt others who have to read on Yodalad.
Right. So, for example, if you would go from Yerushalayim and to Bnei Brak on your Dalid, right? You wouldn't be able to read for them and exempt them from their obligation.
So if I'm one of the people who should read on Tetvav, but I can't because I'm not there. I'm not in Jerusalem. I'm in Bnei Brak. Then I'm not able to read for other people. I can only read for myself.
What we'll be getting to that situation if a person who's supposed to be reading on Tes Vav and he's in a place of Yudalid, what he's supposed to be doing. It depends. It's very complicated halachas. Depends if he was planning to go back and he was stuck or he didn't get stuck. What was his intention when he left? What's stopping him from getting back to where he's supposed to go to? Very difficult, complicated halachas. We'll get to those halachas probably next week, I think.
Okay, but what we said in this sentence is that if he's one who should read on the 15th, he's not allowed to exempt others by reading on the 14th.
Right. That's why he said Misha Dino. His person whose halacha is to read on Tezvav. Right? Meaning this person has an obligation to read on Tezvav. He doesn't have an obligation to read on Yudal.
Right.
What he's actually supposed to do if he gets stuck and he's not going to get back to say Yerushalayim. Let's say it snowed. He went to on Tainus Esther Yud Gimel Adar. He went to the Bnei Brak. He was planning to come back to Yerushalayim, the Purim Yerushalayim, and then it snowed. Snowed on Yud Daled, and he's stuck now in Bnei Brak. What's he supposed to do? His halacha, right, is that he's supposed to be reading on Tezvav, but he's not going to be able to do that in Yerushalayim. So we'll have to see what the actual laws are as they apply to him. We'll get to that in probably Sif Hey, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Dechein lehefech kevan she'eno mechuyav ata b'davar pri chadash, according to the pri chadash. Okay, so and what is this word hefech?
The opposite. Let's say the opposite situation.
And similarly, in the opposite.
Let's say you have someone who's obligated on Yud Daled, he can't read for people who are obligated as well.
Okay, so since he's not obligated, now, in the matter.
Yes,
Okay, so he also cannot exempt somebody else,
correct. That's right.
according to the pre-Chadash.
Right.
V'hapri Magadin Kasav Div Di Bidiavad Im Ben Kirach Kara Leven Yud Dalid Biyud Dalid. Okay. According to pre Magadin, who writes that Bidi Evid, if he is a resident of a town that reads on the 14th, Yatza, he fulfills.
Right. Yeah, but B'di'evid, after the fact, de facto, he would be Yotzi. I mean, he shouldn't, but if it happened that way, he'd still be Yotzi.
So what's the scenario here?
And let's say one of these people who was obligated in another day, and he can't read for the other people, but let's say there was no other choice and he had to read for them. So B'di'evid, it works.
I see. Okay. All right. So back to the Mechaber Dalid.
Yeah.
Karach Shehu Safek Im Hukaf Biyamei Yoshua bin Nun Yoshua Im Lav Korim Biyodalid U Betetvav Uve Lehon. So in a town that is in doubt if it was surrounded in the days of Yoshua or not, they read on the 14th and the 15th. And what is this word lehon?
That's in the nights, right? From the world of Lila, in their nights. So a person, let's say you have a crack, you have a town. It's doubtful as to whether or not it was surrounded by a wall at the time of Yeshua ben Nun or not. So they should read on both days, Yud Dalet and Tezvav, and they should read it nighted well for both of those days and nights. But not to make a bracha. Only to make a bracha on the 14th.
So what? They make a bracha on the 14th and they don't make a bracha on the 15th, but they do read on the 15th?
Yes, they read on the 15th, but without a bracha. On the 14th, they read, but with the bracha.
Shehu Zaman Korea, that it is the time of the reading, the 14th. The Rov Ha'olam, for the majority of the world.
Right. Most places in the world are, in fact, celebrating Purim on Yud Dalet.
Right. Okay, Mishna Berura, Shehu Safek, that it's a doubt. Utiveria Tarich Likros Ba B'Yud Daled Uva Tetvav. Tiveria, it's necessary to read on the 14th and the 15th. Shesafek im hayam chashuv ke choma according to the Gemara. And it's
Right.
a doubt if the sea is considered to be a wall.
Right. The Gemara there in the Gemara in Megillah asks specifically about Tiberia, that is walled on three sides, and the fourth wall is the sea. Is that considered to be a wall or not?
Uvim dinos elu. Other regions. My note says that would be Europe. Bichrakim ha mukafim choma. In towns that were surrounded by walls.
And in Europe, there are many places which are surrounded by walls. All those castles. You know how many hundreds of castles there are in Europe?
Right. I wouldn't think too many of them date back to Yeshua ben Nun.
That's what it
was. Like 3,000 years ago?
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah, in Europe they were living in caves, probably.
Yeah. Ain the his tafpek shema mukafim mimos Yeshua ben Nun. What is this word? His tapek?
There's no doubt. Goes from the word suffix. There's not to be any doubt. All those European places that are walled, right? There's no doubt. There's not to be any doubts about them.
There's no doubt that maybe they were walled in the days of Yeshua ben Nun.
Right.
Mishna Berura. Lefi shehem itzafon ude chokim me Eretz Yisrael v'yadua shelo hayu miyushavim bizman Yehoshua. Since that they are from the north and distant from Eretz Yisrael, and it is known that there was nobody living there in the times of Yoshua. So there's no doubt. It's not, the walled cities in Europe, there's no doubt about them because nobody was living there 3,000 years ago.
Right.
Korin biyud daled. We read on the 14th.
All those cities read on the 14th, right?
14th and the 15th.
Yeah.
No, v'no hagin simcha umatanos le'evyonim bishnehem. And we're happy, and we give gifts to the poor. We give two gifts to the poor. Velo yivarech, and without a blessing. That is on the 15th without a blessing. She habaracha afilu b'mitzvah shel Torah. That we say a bracha only on a mitzvah of the Torah. Hu mide rabbanan, and this is a rabbinic enactment that we should read on the 15th in these towns.
Well, he's referring to the bracha. The bracha, even if it's a bracha for a mitzvah deraisa, the bracha is only midrabanan. So therefore, we refrain and don't make the bracha on the 15th.
But the bracha is the rabbanan, or the reading on the 15th is the rabbanan?
Well, I mean, everything in Purim is the rabbanan. So he's explaining that why don't we make a bracha? We make a bracha on the 14th. We don't make a bracha on the 15th because the bracha even if it would be a mitzvah deraisa, which it's not, but even if on a mitzvah deraisa, the bracha which you make is only a midrabanan. The mitzvah may be deraisa, but the bracha is only the rabbanan.
Okay, now I'm confused. If the bracha is the rabbanin, in any case, then why do we say it on the 14th?
Because there you go after rove. You can pass it according to the rove. That I'll tell you, maybe I don't want to rush through this. We've gone past our time anyway. Let's pick this up tomorrow. Let's remind ourselves to pick this point up tomorrow, okay?
Okay, sounds
That
good.
way, that will be able to answer your question about the bracha on the 14th, and not simply first through it. Yeah, okay, Mitzvah Shem.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mitzvah.
Meir.
Thank you, Meir. Everyone have a good day. Hope to see you all tomorrow.
Good day.
Amen, amen, amen.
Okay, bye.